Reid, come out of session. Yes. Question 1, Councillor Collins. So Leyland. Yeah. Right, so we move on to questions. Councillor Richard Coddington to Councillor Craig Leyland. Do you need any supplementaries?
Yes, thank you, Chair. I have got one. We've been here a long while. I forgot what it says, so I'm going to ask Travis to read out the supplementary, please.
Could you just provide us a moment, Councillor Hesketh, to make sure that we've got enough members in the room to continue, please?
Okay. Now an account. Is it 28?
We're okay, Councillor Hesketh.
Thank you. Councillor Leyland, thank you for your reply. I'm a person who believes in if you don't ask, you don't get. One of the aims of this council is to create jobs, and some of the neighbourhood health centres have already been created in places like Blackpool. So do you not agree we should be recommending to those people and organisations named in the original questions, they should be approached with the idea of using Skegness Hospital, which has previously been used for most of what's being proposed. It's already a public owned building and only needs refurbishing. If we don't propose this, then they may overlook us and we may miss out.
Mr. Chairman, I'm very sympathetic to the points that Councillor Cunnington raises, and I'll happily progress that in any way that I can.
Okay, thank you. Question 2, Councillor Richard Coddington to Councillor Steve Kirk. Have you any supplementaries?
Yes, thank you, Chair. And yes, yet again, I've forgotten what it says, so I'll ask Travis to read it out for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Kirk, for your reply. As portfolio holder for Coastal, do you think that we're doing enough to keep people safe when using our waters? What else do you think we could put in place to ensure we as a council do take our role serious when it comes to protecting people?
Thank you very much, Councillor Cunnington. Could we do more? I think personally we can do more. So I've been in contact with the RNLI to see if we can do more. Our officers already do a lot of work, leafleting people. We have our signs, but I'm working with the RNLI to see if we can have some bigger signage, some more in-your-face signage across every single beach we've got, rather than just the blue flag beaches. So I think we can do more, but I would urge every single person who's a community leader, talk to your community. If you go to the coast, if you go to the beach, leave your inflatables at home. They're ideal for pools, not great for the North Sea.
Thank you. Question 3, Councillor Makerson's orders to Councillor Tom Kemp. Do you have a supplementary?
Well, I'm speechless at this reply because this comes out of the car park strategy, and it was a section 151 officer who told us about this, and then I get that reply. I'm speechless. Perhaps Councillor Leyland, who appears to be the mouthpiece for Councillor Kemp, would like to reply.
He says no.
Well, perhaps you'd like
in
to
all
get back to me.
In all seriousness, I'll have a chat with you about what you actually wanted to ask, and then I'll make sure that you get a response.
Thank you.
Well, I'd like it to be right because it is going in the scrutiny.
Thank you. So question
And the next
4.
one, all right, I'll get up and ask the
All right.
supplementary for the next one.
Thank you.
I know that the NHS has set up its own agency to get rid of all these costs of having locum staff, and I thought you might learn some lessons from them, Councillor Foster. There are ways of saving money on the workforce. I do appreciate what the problems are. There was somebody on the radio this morning actually talking about that, and they were saying that there are loads of those unskilled jobs going, but for some reason they're not being promoted by job centres. So, but there are other ways of saving money, and I understand the problems you've got to. So, thank you for your answer.
Yeah. Question 5, councillor Makinson
yeah.
Saunders to William Gray.
Well, I suppose I have to declare a bit of an interest. I do have a member of the family who works for a housing association now, who tells me that the law is actually being looked at and changing for some of this. So perhaps I'll get an answer from a change in the law just as much as these. And I haven't had enough time to read through all of it, but it is a question I'm frequently asked. So when I've digested it, I can probably ask Councillor Gray the other bits.
Thank you. Question 6, councillor Makinson Saunders to councillor Tom Ashton.
Well, I thought it was the government that had actually said we needed 1,600 homes, and I hope you're just listening to our answers because we're really struggling with extra. We don't have the infrastructure or anything. So I hope that Councillor Ashton will give us an undertaking that he will listen to our problems and our plights because we can't cope with any more.
Councillor Megan Sanders, I think we share one and the same view on this. I, for one, am not prepared to bring forward a local plan based on what we believe to be erroneous calculation for our housing need, which at the moment is looking at a significant uplift in the requirement that the government is expecting East Lindsey to deliver. Quite frankly, the market is incapable of delivering the volume of housing that the government has suggested, and as I say, we believe their methodology is flawed. Moreover, I gave this council an undertaking when we took the local plan through back in 2019 that any revisions, any new local plan would obviously have to be the plan for the whole council. It would have to enjoy the support of this chamber and members from across it. And I appreciate that our spatial strategy up until now has been to grow exponentially all of our existing settlements. I don't believe this council would support a new local plan that looked to put 2,000 more houses on Louth, 2,000 houses on Horncastle, another 300 or 400 in Sibsey. So I fully agree that we need to do something substantially differently. It is unlikely that we will have the time in which to do that in the lifetime of this council should local government reorganisation happen. But there's a lot of important work going on looking at the needs and requirements of the district, which will be necessary should we do a local plan or should that evidence go forward to whatever that local plan looks like after LGR.
Thank you. Question 7, councillor Travis Hesketh to councillor Craig Leyland.
Yeah, thank you for your robust statement at the beginning of the meeting. Even National Grid admits that 84% of people think the current proposal is unacceptable. They even put that in their own reports. So I'm looking forward to a strong action plan coming from the council, working, I hope, hand in hand with Lincolnshire County Council to oppose the pylons.
Councillor Travis Hesketh to councillor Craig Leyland.
Yeah, this wasn't a trick question. This is just, are we going to make any money out of the pylons if they get built? It was just an idea, but unfortunately, I think you're saying that it's unlikely we're going to get anything as an ongoing rate. Is that true?
Mr. Chairman, I think it has to land and then they determine how this falls into whether it's a renewable application or how it goes forward. So at this point in time, I can't give you a firm answer on that. It would be nice if it was, because it would be a lot of money.
But we won't be here.
Right?
We won't be here by the time they put it down.
Well, I'm looking forward to being here. So you know, there's all this gloom and doom talk. It's starting to get infectious, isn't it?
Thank you. Question 9, councillor Andrew Leonard to councillor Craig Leyland.
Well, the clue was there really. What did it need any tweaks? Well, I don't know if councillor Leyland is aware that, of course, Louth has one of the best monumental masons in the country, Leaks, and I wondered if he wanted me to contact them to order some granite curbs for the outer edges, because it's starting to look almost like the cemetery. So the choice is yours.
As ever, councillor, your comments are welcome and always interesting.
Question 10, councillor Andrew Leonard to councillor Craig Leyland.
Yeah, if you thought that was interesting, you'll think this one is. So as I arrived this evening, I noticed the echinacea flowering there beautifully outside. The cordylines, which of course are known to grow to considerable height and grow out as all the bottom leaves drop off. And then, of course, unfortunately for you, I was here when they planted it, doing some training, which I think it was for licensing, of course. I forget, it's so long since I've been to licensing. But nevertheless, the point is that they're underneath those slate chips are a very thick industrial grade membrane. So not have you only got the issue of the water bouncing off the slates, and then of course the membrane. So the chances of the water getting through to the bottom and the peat that's wrapped around the base of the plants. But then I have grave concern really, and I wonder if it could be changed, because in the middle of the bed sits pampas grass. And of course, for those of you of an older generation will remember that if you had a pampas grass in your front garden in the 1970s, there was somewhat of a sexual connotation that went with that. I'll leave the choice to you.
Councillor, I'm quite genuine about my offer to get you involved in the choice of plants. I haven't driven past your house recently to see how much pampas grass you've planted outside yours.
Thank you. Question 11, Councillor Travis Hesketh to Councillor Craig.
Yes, could you recommend a planting strategy for the tubs outside my house? And after you've done that, to the serious point of this National Grid Community Benefit Survey, which has been launched, they've made this the most difficult document, an online thing to find anywhere. It's got a massive address and there's no simple link. I've actually asked them to deal with this, but they haven't done. Can I encourage everybody and get your support that everybody needs to fill this in and say, if you're making community benefit, it needs to stay local and not go to some quango.
That's absolutely the intention, Councillor. It has to be locally organised. And the reality is, from our previous experience of monies going through from wind turbines locally, the parishes did the best job of spending it in their locality. So your point's well made.
Thank you. Question 12 then, Councillor George Horton to Councillor Tom Kemp. Your supplementary.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. And just to keep our leader, Councillor Leyland, happy, I declare an interest as I refer to tribunals and courts as being a magistrate. This is very good. It tells us what we should be doing, but we don't. And I refer to the last but one paragraph. In addition to the legislation, enforcement agents are managed through their contract with the council, and PSPS, on behalf of the council, meets regularly with enforcement agent managers to review performances. PSPS officers can also have access to the enforcement agent system to check cases should a customer make a complaint or raise concern. I am doing that, and therefore I want a copy of the tape, please.
Councillor, you're referencing a specific instance, and I think in this case, it would probably be better that you dealt with the officer concerned, and I'm quite happy to make sure that happens. But this is not a, I can't speak about general. I can only speak about generalities, not specific instances.
No, but what I'm complaining about is the way that we use our agencies, and if we're using an unfair agent, we shouldn't be doing.
I'll consider what you're saying, Councillor, but I'll again reference that.
So who is the officer, please?
I will happily contact you after the meeting to make sure that you're fully informed about what the issues you raise are.
Thank you.
Thank you. Question 13.
No.
Councillor Roger Dawson to Councillor Craig Leyland.
He's had to leave because he's got caring commitments at home for the next 3 questions. He's asked me to pass on the apologies, but he will write back to the relevant portfolio holders.
Thank you, Councillor Arnold. Question 14. Oh, same thing. Oh, for all of them.
End of the meeting.
That's it, isn't it? Thank you, councillors,
So we
for
make comments
your
about this
attendance,
because these come at the
persistence and
end of the end
resilience.
of a meeting. And for
When
councillors,
is it?
we're asking on behalf of our residents, and it's important that we do try to get answers so we can go back to people. They're always shoved at the end. It's 10 o'clock at night. We've overstayed our welcome. And I think we should really take these seriously. And they're right at the bottom of the agenda every time. And I just feel really sad that we just don't do them justice. I think Leyland could do something about that.